Hi, YouTube. This is my first filming for my channel. My channel is My Retirement Daydream, and I'm Sandy. I'm currently 67 and unemployed, like many of you out there that I've heard of. The backstory on that is starts with my husband having a stroke in 2023. He had an aneurysm stroke and was hospitalized for an entire month in the ICU. And there was a whole year and a half recovery time for him. So I had applied for my Social Security previous to that, um, intending to retire at 65 from my part-time job. So that changed in an instant, and I had to continue working. So I do also have my own business that's seasonal, and I've always kept a part-time job just to supplement that income or as a safety net. When he went back to work, um, I I ended up getting an injury, and then I've been out of work since July of 25, and I'm still currently unemployed. And I am in the middle of a workman's comp um, suit that's not going so well right now. So anyway, like I said, I had to continue working, and then turns out my business picked up. Uh, it had a late start, but it picked up from midsummer into the fall. It did great. Um, that was good and bad because my earnings surpassed the earnings for Social Security. You're only allowed to make 24,000 a year when you've taken your Social Security early. So my full retirement age is now 67. So they ended up cutting my check in more than half. So a continued struggle for us. And then we had a lot of financial setbacks with repairs to the car, repairs to the floor. A raccoon got under our house and destroyed our heating system. And we're talking about each thing was over $1,000. And the car was over $3,000. And both cars broke down at the same time. I ended up having to give my car up. It's an older car and just not worth putting the repairs into. So I'm here running this business with working with one car. So this is not my first time starting over, but I would say this is probably the toughest one that I've gone through. When I was 50, I met my husband, and we ended up getting married after I moved here. I'm in Indiana right now. So I that was the biggest change ever. Because I got married, moved to another state, and started my own business. So my friends thought I was brave, but I just wanted to get out of there and have a new start, and that was really a new start. So anyway, we've struggled um, quite a bit this year with all the injuries and illnesses and all these costs. And I waited my whole life thinking at this age, I finally get to relax. I finally get good health care. And that turned out to be a big disappointment. If any of you have Medicare, you part of that payment that has now gone up to $200 comes directly out of your check. And I would say that the coverage is not very good. So I had that and supplemental care. Thank God my husband has VA coverage, and they cover everything for him. So I am still working at my business, and I will have to do that probably until I can't anymore. So rather than cry about spilled milk, I have been in the dumps since I lost my job, even though that I wouldn't say that was my main income. And I've just kind of moved on to plan B, I would say. And I'm just gonna suck it up and put more time into the business and try to build the business more. And it's like, you know how they say when you have a business and everybody always has that safety net job, and it's like, don't have that safety net, just put everything into the business. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm having a really good start this year because people are booking early. And I do have, I would say, probably 100 corporate accounts, and just gained another one this morning, actually. So I'm kind of hopeful. And my goal is to continue to save money for the nest egg. You know, I'm starting late, and I would like to buy a tiny house for our retirement, and that'll, require another move, but smaller footprint, smaller life, and less headache. That's what I'm looking forward to. So you have to excuse me from reading. I'm reading some notes just so I don't miss anything that I want to talk about. So anyway, like I said, we got through it with a lot of prayers and a lot of hard work. God always comes through. I haven't had a super abundant life financially, but I always make it. I always make it. And every good idea that I've ever had, I know that comes from God. That's actually His idea. It took me a while to figure that out, patting myself on the back, like, look what I did, but it wasn't me. So I've given up on job search, which is why I'm putting everything into the business. Because I heard the other day on the news, I don't know if any of you have applied online for all these job search sites. I heard that they post ghost jobs, jobs that don't exist, and they collect all your information and they sell your information. And then you'll get like thousands of calls and emails that are totally unrelated to your job, or maybe that one job you searched out will be on there but goes nowhere. So I'm done with that. So, like I said, on to plan B. I'm just going to invest in the business more and increase the income. And it's actually, I think I've been fooling myself because the income has actually been pretty good. Like last year, I doubled my business income, and because of the late start, I was kind of worried. I thought, oh God, this is going to be bad, but it was doubled. Um, and that was another good bad situation because I ended up owing $3,000 in taxes. My business is an LLC, and I don't qualify to to charge tax for the events that I do. It's just a straight payment, even though I do like a W-9 and all that kind of stuff. But um, I cannot charge tax, so I get stuck with that at the end of the year. So I'm trying to be a little bit more diligent about putting that aside this year and hoping that I don't get stuck with that payment again. Like I said, I've been off since July, and I've had a lot of time to reflect and kind of go over my life. And, I've stopped beating myself up about not having my retirement, because, I've worked my whole life. I've worked really hard. I've always had a job and then an extra job. I've done like a lot of freelance work. I worked as an artist and then always kept a full-time job, especially like raising my kids so that I would have health care, health coverage. But I've always made more money on my freelance job than I have on my regular jobs. So I've been binge watching YouTube while I was sitting around in my pajamas there for a while. And a lot of you have actually encouraged me to start my own channel. That's where I got the idea from, because I found a lot of comfort in all of you that are out there uh, speaking about your life and your experiences and common situations that you're in with retirement. So it helped me not feel like I'm alone in this. I have like really wonderful friends, like great friends, but a lot of them live in other states, and their lives are a little bit more successful than mine. So if they are sympathetic, but they don't truly understand. And it's different speaking to people that understand, that are going through the same thing. It's a little easier. But like I said, you made me feel like I'm not alone in this. And I'm still watching all of you. And I guess in a future video, when I have you written down, I'll give you all a shout out. Some of you I've had conversations with on the comment section. So I've been promising to start my own channel, and here it is. I keep my promises. So I hope you will all watch, and I'd like to hear from you. Ask me questions. Tell me your stories. And I just kind of want to gather my own little community here, and widen this community, and hope that what I'm speaking about can help somebody else like you all helped me. So don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help me out. I'm hoping this can at some point get monetized, but really it's just going to be fun, I think, and a little bit of therapy for me. So that's it for my first video.